What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the JTC channel. What is going on in the crypto market? It is nuts out here. I mean, things are dropping, but you know what? Like I always said, this is the Walmart discount. This is the time to accumulate. But do you accumulate right now, or do you continue to let it fall? Well, we're going to get into that in a minute. Before I start, I just want to let you know that this is not financial advice. I will not be telling you to buy, hold, or sell. I'm going to give you the facts. You guys do your own research. You guys decide if you want to buy, hold, or sell. That's your informed decision. Let's get to it. So what's been going on the last couple of days? Things have been in the red. Bitcoin actually broke down below its resistance level. So things are starting to fall. And why is that? I'll get why to that in a minute, but let's talk about potential drops. It is possible, now that it's broken down its resistance level, it is possible for Bitcoin to drop to the next level, which could be between $35,000 and $30,000. So do not be surprised if it falls to that level. It certainly could, and it could drag everything else with it. But now let's get into why things are losing steam. Why the two biggest cryptocurrencies are down so much, Bitcoin and Ethereum. First, there was a Congress hearing on cryptocurrency in regards to the energy consumption. They're talking about how cryptocurrencies pretty much battle it out in order to get the payout from either Bitcoin or Ethereum. And this is causing people to have to buy more powerful computers, stronger systems, consume more energy, they get more units. So there's a lot of concern about these two cryptocurrencies doing things the outdated way that is really consuming a lot of fossil fuels and causing an energy issue, which is a valid concern. Whereas there are other ones that are more leveraging, windmills, solar energy to power their systems. So we have to start looking at a different way of doing things because it's consuming a lot of power, and I understand that. But that is why Bitcoin is on a downtrend because of this news. Certainly, sometimes these news causes a drop. Is this a downward trend forever? Absolutely not. I still think Bitcoin is going to be very dominant for the next possibly 5 to 10 years. Could be even longer than that. It really depends on the other coins. Now, one coin that I have in question is Ethereum. Why is Ethereum down? Ethereum is down for two reasons. One, they're on a blockchain, they're on the chopping board from Congress because they're consuming a lot of energy. They're doing things inefficiently. Bitcoin is down, it drags Ethereum with it. Why else is Ethereum down? Ethereum is down because gas fees. And I've said this time and time again, gas fees will bring Ethereum down. It is the reason it's not competing better with Bitcoin. But there are other reasons too. Why Ethereum is down. It's the competition. They're actually losing to its competitors because they're now doing the same thing that Ethereum is doing, but Ethereum can just not get their act together. They cannot finalize their Ethereum 2.0 that everybody's been hoping for and keep pushing back the date. Why would you do this when the biggest issue you have on your system and its potential Ethereum killer is your own design, your gas fees? Fix your gas fees, fix the problems, give everybody what you've promised, and you could potentially save Ethereum. If not, what's going to happen? Your competitors are going to win, and I'm going to talk about them in a few minutes because I really want to do a shorter video. I don't want to ramble on for 30 minutes. So I'm going to give you guys today some of the few tokens that I have been researching and I think are good moves. So when when you notice Bitcoin starting to dump, Ethereum starting to dump, sometimes that's a sign to take your earnings from Bitcoin and move them to different coins, because a potential drop is possible. But if you remember last time, we had if you look right here, we had a 50% retracement. And then we hit all-time highs. So is this the end of Bitcoin? Absolutely not. I still think we're going to hit all-time highs with Bitcoin. It's just a matter of, time. So if you look in the past, there was a point where these graphs were massive. And then all of a sudden we see other spikes in the graph that make these other little things look like tiny hiccups. So with that, let me get into the next coins. I'm going to give you four tokens that I strongly believe in, and regardless of the dumping, they're doing very well. And they have massive potential for the future, especially in the way that the government is going. Number one, obviously, top of my list, XLM. Shout out to Stellar. Um, you know, it is just doing everything right. They have so many partnerships. They're creating currency for countries. The U.S. is starting to work with them. I actually, um, even during this hearing, they were talking about payment systems that are non-for-profit, decentralized. Um, they follow regulations. They're not, pretty much outlining XLM. So they know XLM is going to be huge in the U.S. in the future. They just haven't announced it yet. So there are people that will doubt XLM because of its price, but you can't judge a token based on its price and its performance. You can only judge a token based on its, um, on what they're doing in the background. So XLM, one of my biggest ones. I think they're going to be massive in the future. I think you're not going to be able to get paid without XLM. That's just my opinion. I'm not telling you guys to go out and buy XLM. These are the top tokens for me. Next, XRP. Yes, they have more. They have a lot more volume, more investments. Why? Because they're in the news. They have a lot of media attention. They are a good coin. They just happen to, to win the lotto with the FEC and get sued, whereas they could have easily tackled any other cryptocurrency like Ethereum, but they chose to make an example out of XRP. And in my opinion, the FEC is losing. They're just delaying out the process, and hopefully we'll have an answer soon. If not, this has the potential to run much longer, and it could be years before it settles, or it could be soon. Nobody knows. We just have to wait on these updates. But XRP recently has another partnership with the bank. So regardless of the FEC lawsuit, they're still making partnerships with these banks. And remember, XRP does not compete with XLM. XLM is just sending transactions between people, could be businesses, cross-border payments, where XRP is focusing on transactions between banks only, right? So XRP, another one to keep an eye on, because if the FEC lawsuit ends, you can expect to see a massive rally again with XRP, and it's going to bring XLM along with it. The next one, the third one on my list, HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph. For those of you that don't know what Hedera Hashgraph is, they're revolutionary in the way that they do things, right? So they still maintain the same way where, let's say, person one buys makes a transaction on HBAR, then that person will send it over to a different node, and then later on, that same person that sent the initial transaction information will send that to a different node. But the other two people that they sent the nodes to will then send it to other people as well. They'll begin transmitting these nodes to somebody else, and they'll have to do it once, right? And it's kind of like think about it like a computer virus, right? You send the virus to one computer. The virus then sends it to 2 or 3 other computers, and then those 3 other computers will then spread it out, and eventually it branches out. And the goal is for everybody to eventually, that they eventually get all the information so that everybody has, the transaction. Now, the biggest difference between them and some of the other competitors like Ethereum, they actually maintain certain information within the actual nodes being the data is being transferred, right? So they have timestamps and they can carry other information. So there's no need for extra communication. So it's a lot more efficient, and they can perform a lot more transactions than some of the competitors per second. Also, their gas fees are a fraction of a penny. Oh my God, how many times do I got to say this? Ethereum, fix your gas fees, because HBAR will take you over and will shut you down. And then you had the potential to fix it, but here you are taking your sweet time while HBAR is doing things right off the bat and doing massive things. Now, why else is HBAR a good buy? Because now during the Congress hearing, they actually talked about of being able to send medical records over cryptocurrencies, send data instantly, effectively, and cheap. Who else are they talking about but HBAR? Now, billionaires have already kind of leaked that they're doing massive things with HBAR, but you're allowed to create, you know, applications on top of HBAR that maintain this information. So just alone in the medical sector alone, to be able to use HBAR in a way where you can send data anywhere in the world, securely, efficiently. I mean, fraction of a penny for you to get your medical records. That's mind blown, you know. And that's only one use case. Imagine some of the other use cases: government information, records around the world that cannot be hacked and cannot be destroyed or altered. So just imagine that, you know, you store something on the network. Like right now, we're just storing transactions with other cryptocurrencies. But imagine being able to hold your information and nobody can go in and hack your profile, steal identity, steal information. Why? Because you can't hack some of these networks, right? We currently don't have computers powerful enough to decipher these encryptions. But imagine not being able to change your credit file because it's on so many computers around. You'd have to hack every computer in the world that does HBAR or Ethereum or Bitcoin. It's just not possible. So this offers a much higher level of security, efficiency, record keeping that, you know, is revolutionary. And I think the developers of HBAR who looked at the solution, they looked at something and said, wait a minute, we can do this better and provide more details and provide better functionality. HBAR is going to be huge. It's only 25 cents right now. I think you should. It's a massive buy. Unfortunately, HBAR is not supported by Coinbase. May not even be supported by New York State yet. But there are other environments where you could buy HBAR. So if you have the ability to get HBAR, HBAR is a massive good buy. Now the next one, it's a little bit more expensive, but this one is hitting a sector in our everyday lives that has not yet been, you know, really targeted. And so I'm talking about Energy Web Token. Energy Web Token is really around the energy sector, right? They want to calculate data based on how much, you know, emissions on anything related to energy consumption. And so this is going to be massive. Why? Because the United States is leaning more towards an energy revolution. The world is, right? We're tired of fossil fuels. It's just an outdated way of doing things. And, you know, it arguably from both sides of spectrum, you know, it could be related to climate change or not, whatever, right? But the bigger thing that Energy Web Token is allows decentralized and custom applications, and they're specifically targeting the energy sector. So what does that mean, right? So they created their an EW-DOS operating system. It's going to allow energy companies to create their own custom applications on this and control and manage their electrical systems online, like massive. And as Energy Web Token becomes bigger, you can expect to see the price increase. It's currently sitting at about $19 already. It's not even well known yet, and it's already at $19. So you can already see the benefit of this, and there's no competition. Who else is targeting energy sector, right? So I can see massive adoption in this in the future, especially as the United States government and the world becomes more, you know, they become more connected with cryptocurrencies. So with that, I gave you the top four: XLM, XRP, HBAR, and Energy Web Token. Do your own research, right? Because there's going to be a lot of tokens out there that really are just selling you an idea. There's nothing behind them. There's no proof of work. There's no change. There's no progression. And those are the ones you want to be careful for, because why? When regulation hits, if they are not, you know, regulated, it may be illegal to purchase them or for them to sell them. And so you could see the shutdown of a lot of cryptocurrencies that really have nothing behind them. I mean, and I'm sorry, you know, just a caution for some of these names, but there are cryptocurrencies that were created for stupid reasons. There were meme coins, right? Let's just say they created tokens on Elon Musk's bodily fluids, and that's what they were called. And it's the stupidest thing in the world, but people invested in it. And you know who won? The people who got into it first and then the hype of the people behind Elon Musk, anything with Elon Musk's name in it, and then the ones who got in first saw these massive gains and they sold it while people were buying it, and then those who got in last lost because you know what? There's no transactions. There's no purpose behind the coin. There's no gains, and if nobody's buying these tokens, you can't sell it, and you're stuck with it. And that happens. That happens a lot. So always be very cautious. Now, while everything is on a downtrend, NFTs are still like they're huge. They're winning. They're going to be very big in 2022. But I think there's going to be some with the regulation. NFTs may have some regulation as well, right? Because you need legitimacy behind these NFTs. What's to say I don't go and take somebody else's work, screenshot, copyright? You know, there's nothing behind that. And like, you know, the one thing you don't want is you don't want to buy something and it be a fake. And you don't want to buy something and it's not the quality that was promised, right? So say for example, I got my iPhone right here. Imagine I put my iPhone as an NFT, right? And in this NFT, I promised you something, but then I send it to you and you get a cracked screen. You know, the battery doesn't work. Like, so there has to be some kind of legitimacy behind NFTs, and I can see that coming. But in the meantime, they are hot. People are buying them. And it's really just the art sector. You have 3D animation, you have pictures taken for people, you have a lot more. And if the biggest ones I think are going to be anything around video games, right? So NFTs are things that you can buy, but imagine buying a NFT. For example, there's a game called Guzzlers, and it's a racing game, and your NFT is a car. Now you only have a limited number of these cars that are going to be produced, and the engine parts and the wheels and the customization are limited. I can see those having some kind of value for gamers, because imagine being the only one in the world with this specific car, and being the only one in the world with these tires and this type of performance and the top rated engine. And when I'm done with it, I can sell these parts individually for a higher price because the value goes up because of demand. Anything around video games, NFTs are going to be massive. But there's a lot of things that are selling left and right now, making millionaires. The greatest distribution of wealth is happening right now, so do not miss your chance to become a millionaire. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. A lot of content. We went from what's happening now, what's going on with Congress, to the coins to keep an eye on, to NFTs and what to expect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this useful. Next goal is 1,000. Once I reach 1,000, I'll be doing a giveaway, so be prepared. Thank you guys for your loyalty, and I'll see you guys in the next video.